You know that feeling when you look in the mirror and you just think, ugh, if only my jaw was sharper, or if I had better hair, if only something was different, then I'd be attractive. Well, let's talk about that because we're about to take that whole idea and just completely tear it down.
Yeah, seriously. That little voice in your head, the one that tells you you're not physically enough, from a psychological perspective, that's what we call a cognitive distortion. It's a lie. It's your brain getting it totally wrong about how attraction actually works. Because here's the wild truth. The science shows that your actual physical features, the stuff you can't change, only make up about half of what people find attractive. The other 50%? That's all psychology. It's about the signals you're sending out, not the face you were born with. So that's what we're going to break down. We're going to start by smashing the attraction myth. Then we'll get into the key psychological principle behind all this, the halo effect. After that, we'll cover the specific subconscious signals you can use, some killer tools for connection, and finally, the most important part, the internal shift that makes it all click. Okay, let's get right into our first big concept, the halo effect. This is one of the most powerful and most fascinating shortcuts our brain uses to judge people. And it's basically the engine behind this whole non-physical side of attraction. What's so amazing about this is just how lazy our brains are. See, if someone's brain picks up on just one really strong positive thing about you, like confidence, it just kind of stops working. It saves energy by assuming, well, if they've got that, everything else about them must be great too. So you project confidence, and their brain literally fills in the blanks, making you seem more attractive, smarter, even kinder, all on autopilot. And this is how easy it is to start. Confidence isn't some magical feeling you have to find. It's a behavior. It's an action. I want you to try this with me right now, just for 3 seconds. Stand up straight. Pull your shoulders back. Lift your chin just a little bit. That's it. That simple physical change is enough to start triggering that halo effect in other people. So now that we've got the physical foundation, let's build on it. We're going to get into the really subtle stuff now, the tiny subconscious signals that crank up that halo effect, letting you project confidence without ever saying a word. It all starts with the eyes. So many people mess this up. You stare for too long, and it's creepy. You look away too fast, and you seem anxious. Psychologically, the sweet spot is about half a second of direct eye contact when you first look at someone. It's just long enough to say, I see you and I'm comfortable, without making anyone feel awkward. And there's a clinical reason this works. It's called thin slicing. It means that in that tiny half-second window, someone else's brain is making a massive judgment call about who you are as a person. When you master that one tiny moment, you create this huge positive shift in how they see you. And we can layer on even more. When you're listening to someone, try to consciously slow down how often you blink. See, blinking fast is a subconscious signal for anxiety. A slow, deliberate blink tells their brain that you're calm, you're present, and you're in control. Same thing goes for speaking. When someone asks you a question, just take a small pause before you answer. It instantly makes you look more thoughtful and composed. All right, so we've talked about projecting confidence out. Now let's flip it. Let's talk about the tools you can use to build a real psychological connection, moving from just broadcasting signals at people to actually creating rapport with them. This one is fascinating. You don't need a deep, booming voice to be charismatic. All you have to do is slow down your natural speaking speed by about 10%. It's so subtle that you probably won't even notice it yourself, but the psychological effect on the listener, it's huge. And here's why. Psychologically, when we talk really fast, it signals that we're insecure, that we're afraid the other person will get bored and stop listening. The brain reads that as nervousness. But slowing down just a little bit, that communicates maturity, trustworthiness, control. It tells their subconscious, this person is comfortable. What they have to say is worth hearing. Let's add a few more quick tools to the toolbox. First, the open triangle. Just point your chest and feet towards the person you're talking to. It's a simple, nonverbal way of saying, I'm open and engaged. Then you have the emotional mirror, which is just subtly matching their energy. If they're chill, you're chill. It makes them feel understood. Next up, quiet confidence. It's about speaking less, but making sure your words have weight. And finally, the Duchenne smile. That's a real smile. It's the one that reaches your eyes and makes them crinkle a bit. It signals genuine warmth. But here's the thing. All of these external tricks, all these techniques, they can be completely useless if we don't fix the one thing that can wreck everything. The biggest roadblock to being attractive isn't your posture or your eye contact. It's the war happening inside your own head. In psychology, we call this the spotlight effect. It's this deep-seated, totally wrong belief that you're walking around with a giant spotlight following you, lighting up every single little flaw for the entire world to see. But the reality? Most people are so worried about their own spotlight, they don't even have time to notice yours. So this brings us to the most important question of all. When you're obsessing over a pimple, or a stupid thing you said, or a bad hair day, who is really, truly paying the most attention? It's you, 100%. You are your own harshest critic. You're the one holding the spotlight. And the second you decide that your flaws aren't the main event, guess what? So does everyone else. Confidence is funny. It works backward. You act like you're comfortable in your own skin, and other people just take it as a fact. And that really brings us full circle. This quote says it all, doesn't it? Attraction isn't some logical process of checking off facial features. It's a gut feeling. It's a subconscious response to the overall vibe, the energy a person gives off. So the big takeaway here is this. Change your focus. Stop trying to fix how you look. That's a losing game. Instead, start the practice of mastering the signals you send. Your posture, your eye contact, the way you speak, these are skills. And they are the things that actually shape how people see you and respond to you. Look, this isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about picking one thing. One small adjustment. So I'll just leave you with this question. What's the one signal you're going to consciously choose to send out into the world today?